Katia, can you tell us about the little things?
Um, I didn't hate it as much as everybody. You know what I mean? It's basically, it's three characters. You have a disgraced detective who's now a police officer. You have a new hotshot detective, and then you have an alleged killer. And the story is we more or less where the disgraced detective and the hotshot detective hook up to try to catch this alleged killer. That's basically the premise of the film.
And so, since you said you didn't hate it like a lot of people, what are your thoughts about it? You like this one?
My issue is not. I liked Denzel's character, and I like their relationship because this movie is not a who done it. It's basically more about the men that solve the crime and how it affects them to the point that it can mess up your life because you become so consumed with it. My issue is with Jared Leto. I just did not buy him as a. He was the stereotypical creepy white guy in the window. Do you know what I mean? I need my killer to be, or
Wow.
alleged killer to be, a little bit more not so obvious. I like their attempt, but the execution wasn't there because you need that third piece. If you're going to have these two guys that are so intense about their profession, you need someone worthy of going after, or at least make the crime
Oh,
more like, you know what I mean? Make the crime more intense, you know what I mean? And
I
that
do.
was the failure.
I do,
But
but this is
you
what I.
were, it's like they started off with a good idea, and I don't know if he ran out of pages or ink, but that's when it went south. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All these movies work because you have a nemesis that is somebody that you're like, we need to get them. I can't wait. Or how are you going to get them? You know what I mean? It's just, Jared was just a greasy, creepy white guy.
see, the where I disagree with you is that for me, Jared was the only character was that was interesting. I, and I think it's in the writing. I don't think that there was anything wrong with Denzel or Rami and what they did in terms of trying to act. I just don't think. I think that the story didn't have it. There wasn't that meat. There wasn't enough fireworks. There wasn't enough anything. I actually bought Jared's character in this, but I just didn't buy the movie. Shawn.
Get out of here. It took not one, not two, not three Oscar winners that couldn't save this. This movie was terrible.
Yep.
Like it was so poor. It's a reason this script sat on the shelf for years. They shouldn't even bother to film it. Like this movie, it did nothing. It didn't move. There was no forward progression. I didn't care about Denzel's character. I didn't care about Rami's character. I didn't care about Jared Leto's character. The characters had no backstory. There was no development. There was no excitement. I've already seen this movie. It's called Seven, and mentioning this movie in the same breath as that film is totally disrespectful. I wanted to jump on screen and poke Denzel like, bruh, wake up from your nap. You are sleepwalking through this thing. This movie was dreadful. Next.
Yeah. So I'm not going next because I'm going to piggyback
Well,
on. I'm going to piggyback on something you said. Is
this
that
movie
that
was,
that
woo!
I think it started with the writing on this though. Is that there was that, like you said, there was no progression. It just stayed in a certain pocket and it just kind of stayed there, and you were like, uh-huh. This happens sometimes when my daughters come and talk to me and they're telling me a story and I'm like, uh-huh, uh, uh, uh-huh.
Move it forward, push
I,
it forward.
what I'm trying to get what are you trying to say here? And I didn't get what they're trying to say. I'll leave the last word for you, Katia.
Again, I mean, it's not, it's like, I've seen worse, So to me, it's like, yeah, for the quarantine, you got HBO Max, hit play, but I wouldn't tell you to go out and pay for it.
All right, so for you it's a watch it. For me, it's a not watch it, unfortunately. And Shawn, well, I'll let him say it.
I need to call my man D. I'm gonna hit my contacts like, bruh, come on, Rami, dude, bruh, come on, Jared, what's going on, man? There's a lot of talent on screen and none of it is executed or displayed. This is a true, when people say it was a waste of talent, this was a true waste of talent on every level.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, well, that's it. And so, in the words of a famous philosopher, next.
Yeah.
All right.
This is like,
All
I'm
right. So,
sorry. I would not recommend this to anyone, man.
I,
Even if we were in a double pandemic.